Yo, well, hello and welcome. It is the Cigar Professor. It is week 9 of pack 8. Can you believe it? 4 more weeks, and we are 2 years old. But before we get there, we have a few more cigars to smoke. And tonight's one should, at the very least, be very interesting. And it's going to suit a lot of newer smokers among you who perhaps are still preferring the lighter end of the spectrum. We've had a couple of heavy sticks lately. We've had a couple of Maduros and sticks that have smoked with sort of earthier tones and these sorts of things. This one here is our way of saying, hey, we're sorry. We get it. Not everyone's into that sort of thing, but it's okay. This is the Macanudo Gold Label 2020 in the Pyramid Vitola. So you can see it's subtle at first. From here to here, it's fairly subtle, but it is definitely wider at the tip and continuously just gets slowly narrower as you go along. And that should create an interesting journey as we smoke. So even though this is known as a very, very mild cigar, I do expect there's going to be some journey. There's going to be some progression just because the actual diameter, the ring gauge is changing. And as we know, that changes the ratio between the fill to the wrapper and the binder. And that then changes how it smokes and the flavor profile that you get along the way. You guys know the drill. At least those of you that have been with us for a couple of years now, you know the drill. Tim has jumped in and said he's having the Perdomo champagne. I assume champagne 10th anniversary. Very, very good stick. Not dissimilar. It's in the same broad. If you were categorizing your sticks between a couple of sort of broad categories, these two would be, or those two, that one and this one would be in the same category. So enjoy that tonight and let us know how you go. I am looking forward to this one. And I'm actually, I'll be honest with you, I'm a bit worried about Omar tonight because the man, as we know, is continuously smoking. Like he's like Hugh Hefner, but with cigars instead of women. He's always got like 4 or 5 on the go at once. Like it's just how he is. You know, he always got a few on the go. We know that he's burnt out his taste buds. He can't detect nicotine, and I'm just worried that this might actually be too subtle for him. And subtlety is not. I mean, I don't know if have you met Omar. Subtlety is not his like strongest suit. So I'm a bit concerned about him. I don't want to say anything though. I don't want to hurt his feelings. So I'm about to bring him on. Just don't let him know that I've said that. Okay. Just shh. Omar, how are you?
Hey, Topher, what's happening, man?
Oh, good, man. Good. I was just talking you up, man, giving you big ups to the subscribers and what an amazing palate you have.
Always. I know you always do that. I trust you with that. Of course.
Yeah.
What's been happening?
Well, look, another week. I've gone and this is going to be a little bit gross. I'm going to do it off camera. I've gone and had a. How gross do you want me to get?
As much as you want, dude.
So I got a pimple on my ear.
Yeah.
And it just decided that about 5 minutes before I went on air was the right time for it to go.
Oh, nice. That's cute.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're gonna be seeing me do this and get off camera and be fiddling with a tissue. That's what's going on now. Now, but look, we're not an acne show. We are a cigar show, so we should probably talk about that. This thing here, such a light dried hay aroma for my money. Incredibly light, savory, and just like it's in. You're in a well-kept, clean barnyard full of really well-dried hay.
And some freshness with it, I think. It has got a touch of freshness coming through.
Okay.
Something fresh.
Okay.
Something touch fresh, which is not a bad thing, of course.
Well, there is, of course, only one way to really find out what's going on. I mean, this cigar is one that rates very well. It is considered to be the mildest of the entire Macanudo range. You're a fan of Macanudos yourself, Omar. You know that they do some lovely bolder sticks.
Yep.
Let's see how good they are. It's something a little bit milder.
I hope you're gonna do a V-cut on that.
On a pyramid. I hope you're joking. Are you serious? You're gonna V-cut that?
Yeah, I used to think the same. Then I came across a lot of cigar smokers. They only use V-cut for that particular shape. And I started doing that, and I'm pleasantly surprised.
Okay. Well, I'll let you test that because I don't have a V-cutter handy. The only thing I've got handy that's actually sharp is the Perdomo Perfect Cutter, which is the one, of course, that has the back on it. And that can present a bit of a problem. Yeah, it can present a bit of a problem with something like this because you need to take off more than what it allows you with that backstop there. So I'm probably going to have to do 2 cuts.
Two cuts, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the first cut, look, you can barely even see that I've cut it. I might be up to 3 cuts in a minute. 2 cuts. Oh, that's
Just have a draw through it.
Yeah. That's actually breathing well.
Yeah. I thought they would. They're known to be well-made cigars.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm going to smoke it like that because I can trim it again later if I need to, but I'm going to be smoking through what is really a very narrow ring gauge, but it's breathing just fine. That's no issue at all.
That's what it matters.
Yeah. Any word from Damo tonight? Have you heard from him?
Of course. Been hanging around with him for a little bit, and he's doing all right. He's feeling much better. He smoked a cigar with me earlier this afternoon.
Okay.
And
hopefully that's a sign that he's on the mend.
Yeah, no, he's I think the 3rd time lucky.
Yeah.
3rd time lucky, and I think it went well.
Yeah, good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, it's not nice. It's been he went well.
Oh, it's a tremendously unpleasant experience. I've not had it, but I've heard of it, and obviously hearing Damo talk about it, I wouldn't wish it on anyone. So, not even you, Omar. I wouldn't even wish it on you.
All right, so you ready to go?
Mm.
Okay, let's see. Just gonna recut it. Just a mild cut, and it's just perfect.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This has lit up. It is exactly as the aroma would suggest. Dry, light hay. Fresh, clean. Like this is not the hay that's been in the barn for 5 years and has mice living in it. This is the freshly stored, perfectly dried bales of hay. Just, so incredibly light. Daniel's got the same thing. So light. Ridiculously light. I mean, this opening wouldn't just be one of the mildest and mellowest cigars that Macanudo make. This opening would be one of the mellowest that you'll find anywhere.
Yeah, it's very light.
Can you taste anything at all? Just thought, because this is your 16th today, I just thought maybe you might have some difficulty.
4th.
You're on a diet?
A little bit, yeah. I've been busy. I didn't have time to get out and have a smoke.
They're not making you do actual work, are they, Omar?
Yeah. You figure.
I would go to the Human Rights Commission with that. That's not okay.
I would. If it happens again. I'm getting a sweet spice. It's kind of all kind of spice or cinnamon. It's it's got a sweet, spicy, which is very fluffy. It's lack the texture of either cookies or dough or anything, but it's just sweet and light and spicy.
Definitely sweet. For me, the opening didn't have the spice, but now sort of 4 or 5 puffs in, I can see where you're coming from. There's sort of a generic allspice. It's not a specific. It's not cinnamon. It's not cardamom. It's not anything in particular, but there's an allspice in there.
Just a tip.
No, not strong. These are all very subtle. This is not a bold cigar, and I don't expect it to get any bolder as we go through, to be honest, or not much bolder, I should say, as we go through. The profile should shift and change as time goes on, but I think we're in for a very, very light smoke all the way through.
I've just had a hint of almonds or marzipan or one of those. Just a very mild hint that it's almost that you have created a dessert with almonds, which is run into sweetness, and you smell that. It's not like you eat that, but more like
it's in the aroma.
Yeah, it's in the aroma.
Yeah. It's sort of, like some of those flavored waters where the flavor is so subtle that you're like, really? Are you sure this isn't just water? It's a little bit of that.
Certainly. certainly.
So this is a Connecticut Shade wrapper, obviously, but they do only use the first and the second gleanings in this particular cigar. So it is sort of at the lighter end of the Connecticut Shade spectrum.
Roger.
Then the
Yeah.
binder is Mexican, which I would usually associate actually with a more medium flavored profile. And I do wonder with the mix of the other tobaccos in here, whether the binder is actually contributing quite a lot to the flavor profile, given that it's Mexican. But then again, the fill is 3 different types of tobacco from a mix of the Dominican Republic and again Mexico. So it's an interesting choice of tobaccos to then create such a mild stick. Obviously, what they've obviously done is gone through and on a farm by farm, crop by crop basis, found the ones that serve their purpose, because this is an uncommon Dominican Republic. There's some quite bold cigars that come out of there. It's one of the reasons why I like the Dominican Republic. Mexican tobacco is associated with being a bit more full-bodied, medium-bodied at the very least. So it's interesting that this Macanudo, that they've turned to those origins to create their mildest stick, but it works.
Yeah. What size did you Topher say? I missed that. I wanted to actually have a go look.
I think it's a 5x52.
5x52.
Yeah. Obviously 52 at the widest point.
Yeah.
Okay, so that interesting. Okay, I was about to say that spice is persisting, and it is, but on the inhale after the exhale of the cigar smoke, on that next inhale, I got that hint of almonds that you were talking about before.
You did? Yeah.
I wouldn't even say it's in the flavor of the cigar. It lingers on the palate after everything else is disappearing.
Yeah, and it's very distinctive because it reminds you of the almond skin being mashed into some sweetness. So I was like, oh, I saw that one.
Thank you. It is very sweet, and it's funny because it's got quite a dry texture. It's got the fluffiness. You're not wrong about the fluffiness, but actually overall it's dry with the sweetness at the same time.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to think of what it is, but there is a dessert that I've had where the dessert itself. Sorry,
not marzipan.
Look, yeah, there is a marzipan element to it, but there's something specific. It came out of a Greek dessert place, I think, and the actual pastry itself and the dessert itself is quite savory, and then it's lathered with a marzipan-like or that sort of heavy icing that's sickly sweet, and it has almost that bitter almond flavor baked into both. That's what unifies them. I just can't think of the name of it.
So light. I still would feel that there has been, or there's mild spice on the tip of my tongue, which is pleasant. It's sweet and it's pleasant. Very generic.
I feel like it's a spice that was probably harvested from the mountains of Pakistan. And then what they do is they dry it on the roads up there because it's quite dry in the climate. They literally lay out black plastic and they dry it on the roads. And then once it's fully dried and crushed and everything, I reckon it's probably put into transparent containers and on its way to the port to get shipped to Australia for us to include in our cooking, which is, of course, why I'm so familiar with the flavor. They drove it past a cricket match. Not like a professional cricket match, probably like a seniors, like old fuddy-duddies cricket match. And someone hit a 6 while it was sort of within viewing distance. It's quite a distinct flavor that it's got. But it's unmistakable. Once you know it, it's unmistakable.
Wow. That sounds about right. But do you think that the seniors game is over 60s for sure?
Weirdly, seniors in cricket is like over 35 or 40. Yeah, it's sort of it's the washed up people who just have come to terms with the fact that they're never actually going to make it in their career. And they just kind of lose hope at that point. And if they weren't given something to do, then they'd probably neck themselves. So they created this special category for them.
Mm. Wow.
I am enjoying it actually, and there is, as I hope there would be, there is a development happening as we go along. There's almost a oh, come on. Oh, no, it's not fennel. It's not licorice. It's the other one. Gosh, that's annoying.
Star anise.
Yeah, aniseed. It's an aniseed type of note. There was a certain sharpness in that last puff that is almost
Yeah.
bringing in that kind of a flavor profile.
Yeah. Very subtle though. Very subtle. I'm trying to pinpoint but it's very subtle.
Amaretto, that's an interesting one. Yeah, aniseed. Daniel's picked it as well. Why, thank you. You should see what I can do with my cigars.
Veterans in hockey. Is it the ice hockey or the field hockey?
Daniel Moore plays his field hockey. He loves it. Gets around the pitch in good speed. He's a wiry, tall bloke, and I imagine has a good turn of pace on him. I haven't seen him run, but I imagine he's got a good turn of pace on him, and is quite experienced as well. So he's he does well in his veterans hockey.
Yeah. Lot of smoke production as well. It's not so light. It's got to give you a lot of smoke, full flavor.
It's giving me smoke, and I don't think the light characterization really applies anymore. This has moved into a light medium for me. There's actually quite a bit going on for me now. You've got this slight fennel aniseed note. You've got the hint of almond. You've got the sweetness, the biscotti, and still that sort of hay profile, all playing together for me at the moment.
I think I couldn't get the aniseed, but I think there's certainly got some sweet fennel, which is sweet, run through molasses or something. It's like sweet with a bit of hint of nuttiness to it.
How's your burn going?
Look, I'm a bit ahead. It's not perfect, but it's almost perfect. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to change it. I've got a little bit of wind coming through as well. I'm outdoors, so that's kind of the role too.
Daniel feels the need to defend his honor. He says, "I don't play veterans. I play Division 1 and 2. The veterans are past it. I'm not that slow."
Okay.
Yeah, bit defensive there, Daniel. Like you're just feeling a bit threatened, or. And here's the comment of the night, guys. And I know this is going to change your life. If you need to find love on the best dating site, I have a feeling that xxx18.online probably knows where you should look.
Yeah. Wow, that's pretty good. It sounds like demo to me.
Yeah, I think that Paro to be guy is probably a fake demo. This sounds like the real deal.
Yeah, that's a real demo. Please don't block him.
Okay, so my drawer is tightening up already, and I think it's just because I really didn't cut much off to start with. So I'm just going to circumcise it again, very lightly. Try not to lose my ash. Oh, I lost my ash. Premature ash ejaculation.
Standard. It's a standard operating procedure for Topher.
Yeah. Well, there's no contest in the Ash Challenge tonight. That is a faux show.
Yeah.
Yes, Daniel. I think Damo did put that there for Omar, and if you clicked on the link, it'd just be Damo on every single profile.
I think you were missing something.
Always fully dressed, but with a different cigar each time. It's like he's just sort of picking based on the cigar menu, you know.
I think you're missing Damo and Uncle Nick together.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There's so many things I want to say, but I'm going to bite my tongue just in case my mother-in-law is watching.
Uh,
It's a lovely stick.
it's absolutely lovely stick. Yes.
Slightly wonky burn. We'll see how it goes now that I've lost that ash. Unfortunately, recutting can do that. I would say the flavor profile has predictably picked up a little bit with that ash having been dropped. Just across the board, it just got that little bit stronger, which I'm enjoying because it was such a mild cigar to begin with.
Very pre-breakfast kind of cigar.
Yeah. That I agree with. This is not the right time of day for this cigar. I had a Lever Series V Melanio this afternoon.
Nice.
And I would have loved to have swapped them, had this afternoon, and be having the Oliva V Melanio now.
That's right.
Would have made it. I mean, it was a lovely warm day in Melbourne, actually, and very, very light breeze. So it was just a good afternoon for a smoke. But this is the cigar that would have made more sense. Cast your mind back to last week, Omar. Simon saying, I missed last week. What was that Genesis like on the rating?
Look, it was okay. It has some challenges with it, I think, but I wouldn't pick as my top sticks.
No.
This one is already giving it a big challenge.
I think in the end, we agreed that it didn't even make the top 3 of this pack so far. I came into it with really high hopes. I was really, really, really gunning for it to be a great stick. And I think it was just one of those ones, I think I said last week, I just kind of wish I'd come into it knowing nothing. Because, the disappointment wasn't so much that it was a bad cigar. It was just that it's so highly regarded in certain circles that it was the disappointment of, okay, I really thought that was going to knock my socks off. And it just kind of didn't. So
I would have it again for sure.
I'd have it again. Yeah. Again, it was not a bad smoke. We're sort of damning with faint praise here. But I just came into it with such high hopes. But enjoy it, Simon. Enjoy it. It's a daytime smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daniel agrees. If it was okay, I'd smoke it again, but I wouldn't have it in my top 10. Yeah. Yeah, and I know Damo worked hard to get it for us as well. That's the bummer. It's one of those ones that you're not going to find a second time in the quantities that we need for our packs. And so he jumped on it, and we were both really excited to have it in there. And just didn't quite live up to what we thought. Anyway, it happens. You're
not going to have best cigars every time. You're going to have some amazing, some great, some okay, some nice, whatever you want to call that. And that's what makes the great cigars so great, because they rise above the pack.
Yep. And not only does the blend and everything else have to be great, but to truly fall in love with it, you then have to have it at the right moment with the right people or by yourself, and just have one of those moments where it's the right weather or the right location. And, and that's when you end up with a truly, truly, truly memorable cigar. There we go.
I'm definitely in my second, third now. And I think you said that it has gone a little bit bolder, but I think, I don't know. I don't know if it's gone bolder. I think it goes through a slight transition where you got something come through, but it's still like ballpark the same.
It went bolder immediately after I lost my ash, so I'd be curious to get your thoughts in sort of another 30 seconds or so. But I would actually say it's re-mellowed out. As that ash has built up a bit, I've got 2 centimeters there now. It's actually mellowed out again.
Look, I would say that it has more of a full body marzipan experience for me. A while ago, it was like a very strong,
all that's gone. All that's gone for me. Completely gone. It's almost gone back to the opening now. It's almost gone back to the light haze, slightly deeper than the opening was. The flavor profile in the opening was light and it was high and clean. This is slightly earthier, but it's gone back to being very, very mild. So we're going to have to get a private investigator onto this to figure out who this Pyro to be character is. Because he's getting a bit up himself, giving fashion advice. And look, I mean, I don't want to judge somebody by their YouTube handle and the comments that they've made, but if I had to guess what he would look like, he's probably some runt of a man, like, I don't know, 5 foot nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't know, middle aged and probably like European sun kissed skin. All that, you know how it goes. Like it's cool. It's cool when you're 30, and then you get to 50, and all of a sudden you look like you're 70. Like I just get that picture. And look, I'm not saying anything. I'm just gonna complete the profile. He probably wears a fedora. Like he's just got that vibe.
Yeah, that vibe.
You know what I'm saying?
An older gentleman, pensioner.
Yeah, look, probably a lifelong, sort of betting on the horses to kind of dude. And he's the dude sitting in the corner of the TAB looking for the young person to come in. He's like, I've got a hot tip for you. I've got a hot tip. I know the horses, mate. Like I don't know. I just get weird vibes of this guy. I wouldn't really take his fashion advice at all.
Nah.
Yeah, Simon's on our page.
Pensioner. That's it.
Yeah, stay away from the moustache wax. Just simply because it came from him. Just don't do it. Hint of cayenne pepper, almond biscotti, a bit drier, sourdough crust. I could get the sourdough. In this part of the cigar. Staying pretty wonky for me here. Not getting any worse. It's not getting any better.
That's all right. Who's this guy? What is he talking about?
Daniel, I've spoken to you before. If you want to be my friend.
Drinking black coffee?
Black tea. Don't know what happened there. That vocal impression I just did of Pyro 2B must have really left a mark. Yeah, I'm losing my voice now. Tim, if you want to be my friend, don't you go piling on. I'm enjoying the fact that Damo's not here. I'm enjoying just like
so much fun.
I'm not here bracing myself for some intelligent insult because, of course, the type that Omar gives aren't intelligent. So, I'm enjoying that. If you guys could just pile off for a week, that'd be great.
You do like a little bit of a rough kind of insult, don't you?
Yeah.
You thrive on that.
I like it rough.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Thought so.
Yeah. See? Just going for the low blow here. Going for the low blow.
Oh, I can't handle you, see. Oh, that's bad.
Tim's got the right idea. That's why Omar and Damo are still friends.
You should know what he did for me today. I don't know if I can tell you, dude. So since he's been a little bit unwell, we were close always. We were like very close, and we got even more close. He just took his time while he was sick. He made me this blend of amazing, beautiful candles, handmade by Damo, deliver it to me. This, like, they represent me. Cedar, sandalwood, tobacco. Oh,
gravel,
wow.
bitumen. Yeah, wow.
I was like, wow, dude. You went out of your way while you were sick to make it for me.
When you say he delivered them, I'm just imagining they were floating in like the bath. And then at the end of the bath was Damo. And on the floor were rose petals. That's what I'm like. He was holding them in the bath. Was it phallic? Did he make it really, unrealistically long and thick?
No, he basically delivered with the black coffee, a cigar, La Aurora cigar, one of my favorite cigars, and a bunch of other cigars. So it was really beautiful.
Well,
don't want to rub it into you.
No, I don't want you to mention rubbing anything in that context. Pyro 2B says that I like it rough. That's why I like a V550. Well, look, you're not wrong. I do like it rough. In fact, my wife and I actually have a safe word. It's called "I have a headache."
Oh, nice.
No, sorry. No, we do. We have a safe word. Our safe word is meatloaf. What it
Oh,
means is I would do anything for love, but I won't do that.
whoa, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Now you're acting like very smart, but maybe that's not your word. You can't be too smart. You don't look it.
Those are the ones that catch you out.
Mm, mm. Ah, that was a beautiful afternoon with Demo, and it's just beautiful. There was no Nick, no Uncle Nick. There's no Uncle Nick. But no Uncle Nick. Just a disclaimer.
Uncle Nick wasn't inviting you to his island.
Nope, that's a negative. Okay, so I think we're almost about to hit the final third.
Yeah, we're getting there already.
Yeah, and it's lightly packed. It's not super packed. I can see it's a bit soft.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of earthy slash haze slash, those earthy tones just come through. Almost overpowering the sweetness.
What, sorry?
Overpowering the sweetness.
Yeah. It's interesting because the profile is definitely progressing, not rapidly, not transforming from one to another. But I would say that actually I've got a little bit of a celery coming in. There's a vegetative note, still very clean. There's a vegetative note just starting to come in. And the earth tones are kicking up at the same time. It's interesting how they're separate because often the two will meld into one, but actually there's quite a distinct vegetative celery and there's quite a distinct earth tone in there.
And it's not sweet anymore. Although the foot smoke is. The foot smoke is super sweet.
Well, Daniel, I hate to break it to you. We have a new Ash champion. You're going to have to up your game, Daniel. Up your game. Yep.
Uncle Nick, huh?
All I'm going to say is hold that thought.
Hold that thought.
Simon must have seen you and Damo hanging out last night.
Could be Uncle Nick. It could be. Who knows?
Ooh. Wow, that's interesting. That's unexpected this far through a cigar. Distinct fresh cut grass. Distinct, exactly as it is when you've just mowed the lawn. Only fleeting. And it wasn't actually in the flavor of the cigar. It was as I was just breathing the foot smoke and so forth, but a really clean, fresh cut grass.
I definitely get the grass. It's a very fresh, it's very light. For me to get technical, when you cut a grass when it's not long, you're just cutting the most finest part, rather than, the whole thing's coming out because it's been a long time since you last mowed the lawn. But this is very light, it's very fluffy.
Yeah.
A green part.
Yeah, and it's like it's not kikuyu or cooch. It's a much better quality grass than that. I know, I get where you're coming from. It's
very light.
This is grass that if it could speak, it would speak with a Pommy accent.
Yeah.
It's that kind of grass.
That kind of. It's what's that? Courtney.
Yeah, something. There's. I was trying to be funny. I was trying to think of the names of some of the other kinds of grass, but I just don't care enough, so I haven't logged any of them. Suffice to say, it's not the kind of grass that your ex-girlfriend when you were a teenager used to smoke. Okay, it's not that kind of
different
grass.
grass.
Different grass.
More like a current girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, budget cuts. We've got kids now, so you just got to smoke whatever you can get your hands on. Really. Same name.
Same name.
Still grass.
That's it. Feels like you haven't had a cigar yet.
I was just, I'm on that page with you. And I was just going to say, I feel like this is an insult, and I don't mean it as an insult, but I feel like this is a cigar that I want to smoke while I'm doing something else.
Yeah.
This isn't a cigar that I want to smoke while I'm in that mood to focus on the cigar.
Yeah, nah.
It's a cigar that I want to smoke when I want a cigar, but I'm also, whether it's playing golf or fixing a chair or doing whatever, pottering around the house. Although if I walked around the house with this, my wife would kill me. It's not a cigar that demands your attention, and nor does it reward your attention in a deep sort of sense.
Yeah. Don't try to go deep. It doesn't suit you. Just stick to your normal shit.
Don't try and go deep. It doesn't suit you. Yeah, my wife says that. Still haven't figured out what she means.
Yeah, but I think your mother-in-law is taking notes really quick.
So there's reports of a bit of aniseed coming back in. I haven't had that yet, but so there's a couple of guys saying, "Yep, a bit of aniseed." So this guy is doing a really good job of impersonating Damo, because if there is anyone who would know the details of Nick's Immenso, it would be Damo, right? He would have the exact measurements, and he would be double checking them every single time they hang out.
Yeah.
So the Immenso 7x70. There you go.
Yeah. Amazing. Oh man.
Yeah, it's funny. Well, that's interesting. A little bit of charcoal coming in to join. It's this really interesting mix of flavors from all over the flavor wheel. Got the celery, got the earth tone, and got a bit of charcoal, a bit of roasted. Oh, okay, yeah. So Pyrodabees just said cinnamon, toasted almonds. There's the toasty, roasty, slight, like it's a light char grill at the bottom of the flavor profile at the moment.
The thing is that I can't put my hand on being it's nutty, because that means very flavorsome and full body, but it's more of a lighter aspect that smells like nuts, but that doesn't have the body of the nuttiness or almonds. Because when you have almonds, they tell you that's a mouthful, and it's got a whole profile.
I don't know. I mean, I get almonds quite often out of Connecticut's that are quite light. Ave Maria, Perdomo, 10th anniversary champagne. You can get almonds out of those. It's just not necessarily intense almond. It's not necessarily at that roasted bitter end. I mean, my reference point for almonds is typically raw almonds, because that's what I eat mostly if I'm eating nuts. They'll be uncooked, unsalted. So yeah, I don't think they necessarily have to be bold. I don't think there's a lot of nut in this though.
I get your description, but nuts known for their fat and heaviness, all nuts, right? And therefore equals proportional body that your palate feels.
Yeah, texture-wise, okay, I can accept the texture.
I don't see that texture at all. It's just a light, fluffy. It has a aroma of almond, but yet doesn't come with that body.
Okay. Omar just in here throwing shade, telling us all what to think. I see you lost your ash again.
I'm almost hit the.
Yeah, you're not far from the finger burning stage, are you?
Yeah. That's nice, though.
I'm enjoying it, and actually the aroma having picked up a little bit is working for me. It's actually getting a bit more interesting as we go along.
For sure.
So we're going to have to give Damo some notes here. because Tim Molesworth is a relatively new smoker. I've introduced him to a few cigars recently. And he's talking about one I've never heard of. I haven't smoked a lot of cigars, but so far the Cloud Hot Pot remains my favorite. Is that like a sort of Korean street food version of a cloud hopper? I'm not quite sure what the hot pot is. You sort of buy it off street vendors or something. Oh, it's the Cloud Hopper. That's, yeah, okay. Here he's respelled it here. I see. Yeah. I see. So Daniel says shaved arms like the ones on the bear claws at the bakery. Is that like the US right to bear arms? Is that sort of they keep the arms and we get the claws? I'm not quite clear on that. David, mine is very bitter and sour. No nicotine, but I'm not keen on it. Double check that you haven't got a bit of tar. You might need to recut. Just try recutting it. You'll lose the ash, unfortunately. Yeah. But if I find something is unexpectedly bitter and it really shouldn't be part of that cigar's profile, often what it means is the Ligero leaf, I think it is the one that's prone to it. And you can get a bit of almost like this tar, this glossy black. And if that's there, it'll munt the flavor for sure. For sure. Swisher hot pots. Simon is voting. Tim, yes, I know you did, but as if I'm going to miss the opportunity to give you shit. Come on. Okay, my burn is fully corrected now. Just by itself, completely come around, perfectly within normal limits.
I can see the bitterness, or I can feel the bitterness, as well as a very vegetative and bit more earthy.
Well, you might have to spend some more time with Omar. He can tell you all about taking it. Yeah, okay. So even mine, I reckon that's what it's going to be because I'll try and catch it on the right angle here. Where's my light coming from? Come on. There we go. See how there's like a shine?
Yep.
To the darker tobaccos specifically. That's not my saliva. That's coming from within the cigar itself. And I reckon perhaps this is a blend that's a little bit prone to it because we just had David Leinholm saying that his is bitter. We just had Simon saying that he's just caught it as it's just started to turn sour. I think mine is just heading that way as well. I'm going to give it another cut, which unfortunately means I'm going to lose that ash. But I've learned as soon as that happens, you've just got to recut. It's the only solution. There is no other solution.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Simon's just reporting a quick snip, and it cleared out the black spot, and the draw is much cleaner and not bitter. Yeah, recut. Yeah, and that's one of the nice things that I do like about a pyramid is that it does give you a lot more opportunity to recut. It's more likely to need a recut because you've got such a large ring gauge and a volume of burning tobacco being drawn through a relatively narrow aperture. So it's more likely to need a recut in the first place, but it gives you the room to do it. Yeah. Yeah, that's all it was. Just needed to be cleaned up. Okay, so creme brulee, burnt creme brulee. I'm not there, but then I've just lost my ash, so who knows? Mine's going to be different. Funny, that charcoal flavor is lingering. That's still with me. Smoke production has just gone up a notch.
Yeah.
Probably with that recut.
Cut makes it happen too.
Okay. Flavor is now definitely in the mild medium, maybe even heading towards it's below medium, but it's possibly erring on that side. Still quite clean. A little bit of soft leather coming in.
Yeah.
Still got that celery note, got this charcoal note that's just sitting way off on the other. It's so strange, but it's nice. Without that, it would feel like it was still just too light for something that's well into the final third.
Yeah.
It is filling out nicely. I've got to say, it is filling out nicely. I would actually like to smoke this again, but find a vitola that is narrower all the way through.
Oh, yeah, I know what you
Something
mean.
in like a 44 ring gauge or something like that, that's never at that 50, 52. Because here's my guess. I don't know, but here's my guess. That Mexican binder, as the diameter drops, the ratio of the binder and the wrapper as compared to the fill changes. There's more binder, there's more wrapper compared to the amount of fill. And I reckon that Mexican binder is playing more of a role as that ring gauge starts to come down. And I'm really liking what it's doing.
Yeah, it makes it a bit more stronger.
Heading towards that medium body, I suspect, I don't know, but I suspect that that's where I'm getting this kind of char grill, charcoal kind of note. It's very subtle. It's not strong at all, but it's there, and I'm really appreciating it. I reckon, yeah, the same blend, narrower stick. And this is what I do love about a pyramid, is that it gives you the chance to sample the same blend across a range of ring gauges. Simon had a Griffin's Davidoff Pyramid earlier this year and had the same thing. I think he's referring to the need to cut. It's an amazing format, though. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's picked up, but still really mild considering how close to the end it is. Yes, it's known as a mild stick. It is a mild stick. But the journey, the progression in this second half has been more pronounced and more interesting than the journey over that first half.
Yeah.
Yeah. Black tea was a good choice as well, as it pretty much always is for cigars.
Yeah, for any cigar.
Going well. What are you drinking? We didn't talk about that.
Black tea.
Just black tea.
Just 150 grams of cream and
black tea, he says.
Black tea, dude.
What kind of cows are making that cream?
It's gonna call it what it is. It's a black tea, and just add a bunch of cream to it. You're good to go. Oh, that's a good ring. That's a very good ring.
There's been a few. This cigar has been treating me very well in the ring department.
Yeah.
Here we go. So they do it in a 4x32 and a 5.5x42. The 5.5x42, I reckon, would be really interesting. Really interesting.
It would be, yeah.
So Daniel's on my wavelength here. You must be getting your cream from black cows. You can stick 150 mils into a tea and still call it black.
Yeah.
It's Angus cow cream.
He's pulling out some rings, this cigar.
Sure is. It's making me feel good.
That's a good start.
Just stroking my ego. Yeah, stroking my ego.
Yeah, that's it.
A little bit of heat build up now.
Yeah, a lot.
Gonna have to really consciously just pace myself in this last inch or so.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. So that charcoal is now filling itself out a little bit more fully. It's become more of a campfire, and it's merging with the vegetative notes, which are really interesting because they're separate, but actually they're kind of coming together on this sort of campfire, bushland campfire type of scenario. It's kind of, if you take all of those aromas in one, that's what it's starting to become.
You gonna talk about the next pack a little bit?
Look, I kind of feel bad. It's sort of Damo's the one that's really done the work to design it and what's in it. And he gave us some really good spoilers before he just selfishly went off and had a medical emergency. Very inconsiderate of him, I think. But time's getting away on us, so I think we must be very close to needing to actually get the photos online and that sort of stuff. So I'll talk with Damo next week about where we're at and whether we're ready just to spill the beans fully and disclose all of what's in the pack, put up some photos and all of that good stuff. We will be switching to the Wednesday night next pack. So that's 3 more. This is number 8. No, 4 more cigars on the Friday nights, and then we're switching across to a Wednesday.
4 more cigars?
This is week 9.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. You've probably already smoked all of yours. You're going to have to bum them off Damo.
Maybe twice.
I don't know why he keeps falling for it and giving you an entire pack at the start. Like, does he not know what's going to happen?
You should spoon feed me like once every week.
Yeah, that's right. Literally be there 5 minutes before showtime starts. So you can't stuff it up, right?
There you go.
There it is. You'll be there with the cigar lighter already lit, ready to go. There is a Lord Nelson. Is that meant to be a double entendre? Because it sure sounds like one. You blokes into big sizes would probably like the Macanudo Gold Lord Nelson. It's like something out of a Austin Powers movie. Yeah. Daniel, I'm with you on this. It's like that charcoal flavor has been used to flavor the thing that you're now eating, or in this case, smoking. It's like it's not directly the char that you're eating, but that flavor has been infused into it.
4,500 pounds. Oh, man.
I'm not even sure what it means, but I ain't reading it out loud.
Nah.
All right, definitely getting down. What remains is getting quite warm. Just physically through the wrapper, getting quite warm.
That's right.
Flavor profile continuing to deepen. Earth tones are getting that little bit bolder. That campfire charred barrel type of flavor is now actually heading towards being the dominant one. It's actually gone from being just this hint in the background that it's just been building as we've gone through this final third. I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying that finish.
You're definitely. No, it's definitely enjoyable. Very
okay, yeah. And I'm going to say it, even though you're going to mock me mercilessly. I feel like there's now a hint of nicotine. What did I say? I said I called it.
Oh, that's funny.
I feel like there's a hint of nicotine now.
You can do stand-up. There's no nicotine in it, man.
Apparently, I can do it sitting down as well.
Yeah, will be better.
So I'm American sassy nicotine. Dear. Well, I've got to say, this second half has really redeemed this cigar for me. I said it about the halfway mark that it just doesn't really want your attention. You'd smoke it when you were doing something else. But actually, this second half, I'd stop what I was doing and I'd sit down to finish this one.
Yeah, not bad. Look, I like it. The first, the middle, and the last half, third. It's a good stick. It's a very good stick.
Its only crime, in my opinion, is possibly being too light and not having enough journey in that first half.
Yeah.
After that, I think it's actually a really solid cigar if you were just rating it on that second half.
It depends who you ask, because for a lot of people, that won't be a crime. That would be a good thing.
Yeah, true. Not everyone's burnt out their palates the way that you and I have.
Yeah. and it's smooth. It's super nice.
So Tim is bringing in a common trope from my other live streams where I'm doing interviews and stuff, and I'm sitting here smoking cigars, and there's always one person in the comments who's like, "Oh, that cigar's really off-putting. You know, do you have to do that? Blah blah blah." So Tim's having a go at me. Topher, I think it's disgusting that you smoke cigars on live streams. Well, Tim, I think it's disgusting that you're allowed to consume perfectly good oxygen, but here we both are. So, you know.
Yeah. Oh, well, each to their own. Nice. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that second half, that was nice. I stand by what I said. I'll look into how I can get my hands on some of those 5x42s, because I think that's going to be the vitola where this blend really shines. The narrower it's gotten, the more interesting it's gotten for me. Daniel commenting, it's definitely built through the cigar, the flavor profile, I presume. Tim, you're so right. We should privatize the oxygen. Yeah. Everyone should have to get an oxygen subscription from Elon Musk. Yeah. $8 a month.
Something like that. Just because he can.
All right. Wait. For a bloke who's not even willing to show his face, you've got a lot of balls. Has David detected nicotine, or have you just become weak? Wow.
It's got an element of truth in it.
No, listen, don't you go siding with Rando over here. Just, you stay out of this. I'm going to put it down after one more puff. He lied to himself. Because I don't want to smoke it all the way down to the point where it turns on me, because I have really actually enjoyed this, particularly the final third, but the second half of the cigar, I'm really enjoying this now.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cigar. Look, I think it was going to be mild always, but it's really good.
That's come good. That's come so good. Wow. Okay. That is an interesting one, and that is showcasing I guess the value in something like a pyramid as a vitola. Oh, wow, what is it? Just like everybody insult Topher night.
David, that's well said. Well, listen, perfectly said.
Just want to say thank you, Cigar, for giving me lots of good smoke rings and protecting my ego against this onslaught that I'm now having to face. At least the cigar was my friend tonight.
Truth music, they say.
Well, that was it ended up being a really interesting cigar. And I was expecting the mildness in that first half. I was hoping that it would have more journey, and it didn't in that first half. And I was starting to think, this isn't quite living up to what I hoped. But man, that's actually going to be one of those cigars I'm going to find myself thinking about. And back to your comment earlier that, I don't feel like I've had a cigar yet. I agreed with you when you said that. But now I do. I do feel like I've had a cigar.
Yeah.
It's like that. Yeah, I do. Yeah. That was satisfying in that last third, especially. I really enjoyed that. Well, that was the Macanudo Gold in the Pyramid, a mix of a Connecticut Shade wrapper with Mexican binder and Dominican Republic and Mexican fillers in the Pyramid Vitola. And I'm going to be thinking about that one for a lot longer than I expected that I would. That was good. Yeah. We'll tune in next week. Fingers crossed we will have Damo back, and we'll have to put up with less of Omar talking. Hopefully he'll go back to being his introverted self, and that'll be good for all of us. But until then, stay safe, stay well, stay smoky, and we'll see you back again on the Cigar Professor next week. Cheers, guys.
Ciao.